2023 was filled with many tests and challenges and opportunities. For the first time, I'm starting the new year, by myself. Me and my boyfriend got into a disagreement, and we literally got into a disagreement like the freaking last hour of 2023, which was like so sad. I'm a Pisces Venus. I'm like the most hopeless romantic person ever. I said in 2024, I put my happiness first. I put my needs first. Amen. I have my boundaries. I know my worth. I am secure in myself. Oh my guys, look at not me going off. Yes, girl. The fact that the moon was opposing my Venus sign means like there's going to be some friction or opposing feelings about like my love and my relationships, which very much was. That's like relationship. Like, yo, if stuff don't change, this is about to be goodbye, the death to your relationship. Hi, welcome to my channel. It's kind of random, but I decided to just go and literally read you guys my journal entries and see how it related to the astrology of the day and see what I learned. I'm going to be looking at what was going on astrologically during these days, okay? During like January 1st. I'm going to look up what the astrology, where the sun was, where the moon was, what was happening astrologically. The second thing I'm going to do is go to my Google Photos, and then I'm going to look to see if I like filmed anything, like if I took any pictures or if I screenshotted something, like a text or something that I felt like it was important, or maybe if I filmed a video. I'll kind of like go through that, but I'll probably post the like shots so you guys can get a visual of what was happening. And then thirdly, I'm gonna read if I have an entry, because I don't think I like journal every day. At least I didn't start off doing that throughout the year. My goal is to meditate and journal every day, and I've been doing a lot better with that since like the past week. So if I have a journal entry, I will read that, and then we'll just see. Okay, so that's kind of how we're gonna do it. So the astrology app that I like to use to be able to go back to a certain day and see where the astrology was is called astroseek.com. Scroll down to transit chart, and then you can scroll down to the bottom, and it'll have a place for you to put your date of birth, your time of birth, and your birth city. And then you'll then it'll ask you, it'll say transits for date. So that means you'll put in what date that you want to see what was going on astrologically. And then you'll put the time, if you want a specific time throughout that day. And then you'll have to put in the city. So where were you located on that day? You know, like where do you live generally, pretty much. So I'm going to do that really quick. This is like a major hack if you love astrology. And I don't know, I just remember like learning about this site and just learning how to track. It's literally this is how astrologers are able to predict your life per se, or they're able to like see what's coming up in your life, or I guess you can also kind of go back in time, like when you were younger, and see what was going on. And at this age, I remember, like, for instance, like at this age, like, I don't know, like I got out of a bad relationship. So then you can kind of see like what was going on astrologically, and you can see like, this Venus was opposing or something like that. You'll see what was going on astrologically, and then it'll make sense because the astrology never lies. Like there's always something, like if you're going through major events in your life, the astrology is always on point with that. So anyways, it's just interesting. It's just crazy. But if you don't know anything about astrology and you're like a major beginner, you're probably going to think I'm talking like a different language because you're not going to understand what the heck I'm talking about. And it's okay. And then just ignore it and just click off this video. I'm just kidding. I mean, if you want to learn, I'm more so like, I'm not an astrology teacher. I'm not really like, there's so many videos. Like, matter of fact, I will link videos in the description box below that helped me learn more about astrology transits, because my job is not to be a teacher per se on this channel. I kind of just want to document like how I use astrology and spirituality every day, and how it's helped me, how it's going to help me, how it's helped me learn about myself and learn about my purpose in life, and all, benefit me in so many ways. And also how it's going to help me become like the girl of my, me being my dream girl, me living out my purpose, me, and all this stuff like that. Just me being my best, happiest, most successful self. So let me input everything. Let's see. So my birthday is January 24th. It just passed. I am an Aquarius Sun, Aries Moon, and a Pisces rising. And I am 28 years old. I'm getting up there. Let's see. Not really. I always think it's funny when like younger people talk about like, oh my gosh, I'm getting to the age of 30. But to like, if you're a 40-year-old or even a 35-year-old listening, you're like, girl, please, like you're still a baby, so. Okay, let me focus on doing this. I guess I'm very excited. I'm very pumped to talk about astrology today. Also, I don't share my astrology chart. I'm never going to share like a screenshot of it because I think it's personal, but I will like talk about certain things within it. But I do talk more. I'm going to start a Patreon at some point soon because I really want to like do like women's circles, virtual women's circles. And I want to host like full moons and new moon ceremonies. And I want to have like a little like spiritual and astrology girly meetup every week where we like do our spiritual routines. And I can be the astrology friend that you go to, like that will tell you like, okay, this week these are going to be your main themes or main thing. These are going to be the main things that you should focus on for this week, or this may happen, or you may experience this feeling or whatever like that. And then the week plays out. And then the next meetup day, which will usually, I'm thinking about doing every Sunday, then we'll like talk about it. Pretty much like what I'm doing right now. Whoa, I didn't even realize that. But yeah, but just imagine like being with me in person and I'm able to like, well, we're not going to do it in person. Not right now, at least. Because it's going to be more global. It's virtual. So it's going to be like a video chat through like a video, like, I don't know, Zoom or something. And yeah, just like a hangout with a bunch of like girls to talk about like their journeys and their stories. And, I can just kind of, yeah, I think that would be like a great idea to do, like for us to grow and heal together and be on this spiritual journey together and be able to talk about like spiritual girly things, like things that people that are not spiritual would not understand at all. If you know, like for the time, I'm just going to put 12 o'clock because I don't have a specific time that I want to look at. I just want to look at the day. So I'm just going to put 12 because that's the default time anyways. Then I'll put the city for the transit. Pretty much where I live, what city I live in. All right, let me focus on this because I also have a problem with like focusing if I'm distracted. Let me review what I just wrote to make sure it's right because you got to make sure it's accurate. Your date of birth, your time of birth has to be accurate and stuff. Your birth location. On January 1st, the sun was in Capricorn. The moon was in a Virgo. That's already interesting. This just because I remember what was going on that day. You know what? I'll just put it on the freaking screen. I'm gonna just put like where my sun, like where the planets were transiting through in my natal chart. Okay, I just told you about what the planets were in, what signs the planets was in. Now the second thing would be to look at where the planets were transiting in my chart, and that's gonna show you. That's gonna tell you. That's the juice. That's going to tell you what houses were the planets lighting up in my natal chart, which is going to also tell you like I will be experiencing some themes or some emotions or major life events or minor. Not everything is major. You could just be experiencing life events or emotions around the themes that the planets are transiting. No, around the houses that the planets were transiting through. I'm so bad at this. It's okay. I'm gonna get better. No, I'm not bad. Don't do negative self-talk. You are doing your best, Jess, okay? This is hard to explain. Because also I don't know who all knows about astrology like that. And like, so I'm trying to be able to relate it in a digestible way for the majority of people, no matter your astrology level, knowledge level. This is going to be so fun. All right, January 1st. There we go. Okay. January 1st entry. I made it to 2024. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I am so, so grateful to have made it to another year. 2023 was filled with many tests and 2023 was filled with many tests and challenges and opportunities. For the first time, I am starting the year. Oh, this is the part where I don't know if I'm going to talk about. Wait, hold on. You know what? I can talk about this. I'm sure my boyfriend wouldn't mind. Because it's real life. I also want to be able to like share real life situations that most people will be going through at some point, or like everybody goes through their things. So I want to be able to share like real stuff, but I also once again want to really, you guys will hear me reinforcing that I have boundaries because I'm also a Pisces rising and I have a lot of Pisces charts. Pisces placements. So I also have to learn. I have had to learn boundaries. And I really like want to be able to share things and help people, but I'm not sharing things so I could put my business out. I'm sharing things so I could hopefully connect to somebody and they can like resonate with what I'm saying and, not feel alone and show the realities of life. But I also, like I said, have boundaries. And one of my major boundaries is like my private, like one of the things that I really keep private is my relationship. So I would never be like, yeah, I'm just very private and protective about my relationship. So I'll talk about my relationship, but when it comes to like certain details, I just kind of details that I think that it's just unnecessary, then, So anyways, all right. So, but I will share this. For the first time, I'm starting the new year by myself. Me and my boyfriend got into a disagreement. And we decided to, and we literally got into a disagreement like probably within the freaking last hour of January of 2023, which was like so sad because also the Pisces. I'm also okay. I'll share this. I'm a Pisces Venus. My Venus is in Pisces, so I'm like the most hopeless romantic person ever. So I'm like, if my life doesn't look like a freaking fairy tale, like a freaking romance movie, I'm gonna feel like, okay, I'm exaggerating here, but like I want my life to be like my relationship to look like a freaking romance novel. And I know obviously that's not realistic, but okay, but a girl can like, that's just what, So when things don't go like perfectly and things, and like I love the new year. Like who wants to enter the new year? I mean, my boyfriend was still here, but we were just in separate rooms because we were upset with each other. So anyways, so we decided to part ways, and or not part ways. We literally just went in separate rooms and we ended up staying away. Like we didn't come together after like, we just went to our separate rooms for the rest of the day. And then I said the old Jess would have. Oh my gosh, this is so funny that I'm actually putting this out here. I said the old Jess would have chased after him and my boyfriend. I would have just given up and just been like, okay, can we just like make up, and like I don't want to, you know, but I said, oh, I actually said what I just said. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, this is so fun. You should journal. This is why journaling is so amazing, because you like, it's just so crazy. Like, I don't even remember writing this. But I said the old Jess would have chased after him. The old Jess would have freaked out that I wasn't fulfilling my romantic fantasy of a perfect, and then I scribbled out perfect idea of a perfect fairy tale freaking relationship. Did I literally just say that? But that's the old Jess who didn't. Oh my gosh, I'm going off. But I said, but that's the old Jess who didn't value herself before others. That was the fearful Jess that needed to be in control of everything, that didn't. Oh my gosh, why am I going off like this? Oh my gosh, this is actually really so funny to read. I said that didn't love herself enough to fully to wait, to feel, that didn't love herself enough to feel secure and know her worth. I'm not bringing that version of myself into 2024. You go off, girl. Yes, the energy that we want. Not me feeling empowered. I said in 2024, I put my happiness first. I put my needs first. Amen. I have my boundaries. I know my worth. I am secure in myself. Oh my gosh, look at not me going off. Yes, girl. We love a freaking healed and girl who knows her worth, an empowered girl. Yes. I said this is so hilarious. I am secure in myself. I love myself. I respect myself enough to not let myself get taken advantage of. Oh, snap. I have been there. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. I said, I have been there a lot for a lot of people and have neglected my needs and put others before myself. That stops here. Yo, this could be a whole novel. Like, I was just going off. I didn't even realize, like, I'm empowering myself right now. Oh yeah, I said it twice. I said that stops here. That stops now. That is being left in 2023. I have given up control and leaving it all to God. I'm so proud of the woman I am developing into. Let me continue to read this. I'll make sure I'm not. By the way, I love my boyfriend, okay? We were just going through some stuff, and in a relationship, we've been together for 10 years, so a long freaking time. And we both have been through the ups and the downs. Like, we've seen each other in our worst and our best. And that's what happens when you're in a long-term relationship. So, you know, well, I guess I'm spilling what happens in the story. But yeah, he was just, okay. Anyways, but just know, no hate to him. This is just the realities of, if you've been in a long-term relationships, then you know. Let's see. Okay, I know 2024 is going to be the year I accomplish my dreams. My dream of all my hard work finally paying off. I will be making a consistent living, making money that will provide me the means to live the life of my dreams through doing what I love, and finally building my dream community. Oh, my dream community. Where is it going to be from? I don't know. Is it through Twitch? Is my dream community on Twitch? Or is my dream community on YouTube? I don't know. Or, I mean, everywhere. Online and offline, obviously. I am connecting to the people / souls that I was meant to connect with. 2024, here I come. Wow, wasn't that so beautiful? Oh my gosh. Sometimes I swear when I'm like journaling, I'm just like kind of in flow. And that was interesting. So that was January 1st. Started the month kind of not the best. On rocky terms within my relationship. But I had big goals and I was ready and feeling inspired and empowered to start follow my dreams and stuff and all the things. So anyways, so now is where we look at the astrology. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Astro Seek first because I have another journal that I started on January 1st. I have my Astro Planner actually by Chani, which is like one of the top astrologers. I love her. I watch a lot of astrologers, but she's like one of the ones I like. And yeah, this is literally an amazing freaking thing. If you're a freaking astrology lover, I would highly recommend the Astrology Planner. Also, I have a second one that I bought because I was like, oh, I want to be able to do like also cute little giveaways when I start my Patreon. So I have a second one that I bought for whenever I start my Patreon. So it will be like choose a random, or maybe the first person who follows my Patreon will get like free like a free thing once a month. Every month it'll be like a new little like giveaway. But yeah, this literally tells you everything about astrology. Let's just say that. It tells you how to understand what the moon is, what the moon means, what all the astrology. It tells you everything that you need to know. Now I'm going to go to Astro Seek. I'm going to look at what planets were transiting through what houses in my charts and pretty much see what were the major themes, what was going on in my astrology chart, or what was going on for me astrologically on January 1st. On January 1st, the sun was transiting through my 11th house of friends, groups, communities, networks, and hopes and dreams. So that's what 11th house rules. I will also always reference my handy dandy astrology planner. Because they also tell you in here what everything means, which is why I love it. Okay, so yeah. Oh, okay, so on this here it says community, friends, networks, and good fortune, and like your dreams. That gives you like good fortunes and stuff. Okay, so which makes sense. Because like I mentioned in my journal, that my main goal was to build a community, find my community of like-minded people, pretty much. That was like my major focus. So if your sun is ever transiting through your 11th house, the themes that is going to be lit up for you, the themes that you may see play out is something around the lines of your friends, your community, and it could be community of people, like anywhere, any community that you're around, a community of people. It could be in person or online. So if your social media community, and everything like that, also it can mean. So you're going to experience certain themes, certain events, certain feelings that have to do with community, friends, and your dream life, or like good fortune for you. So yeah. So just if you learn to journal every day, then you can kind of like start to make, because you may not see the connections immediately, because there are some days where like I don't really see things play out because I'm in it, I'm going through it. But then when you look back, you're like, oh shoot, I was going through this, or this was da 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 da, so it's just very helpful. I don't know, it's just so amazing. I mean, to journal every day. I mean, it has multiple benefits, but that's one of the main things I like. So like I said, that was going on. The moon, now this is interesting. The moon was transiting, the Virgo moon was transiting through my 7th house of relationships, committed relationships and partners. So this, your 7th house is going to rule like your really close relationships. And that could mean like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a partner, or it could mean like a close, I think it could also mean like close best friends, like really like close friends. Your 11th house will be more like general friends, but I feel like committed, maybe it's just more relationships. Because like with your best friend, I mean, if you had like a sisterly best friend, like that's somebody that you saw every day, that you literally, that knew everything about you, and you were just this close, like super close, like more on a family type of level. But like your general friendships and communities would be more in your 11th house. But once again, the 7th house really mainly rules your like relationships, romantic relationships and stuff. So it could also it could also rule business relationships. Whatever partners, committed partners and relationships you have, that's 7th house. So the moon was transiting through my 7th house, which it's opposite from my, and it was actually conjunct my descendant. So the descendant line, which is opposing my rising sign, okay, which is also opposing my 1st house of self. So whenever you, okay, this is a little insight. Whenever the moon is opposing your rising sign / your 1st house, you are probably going to have some like feelings about a relationship, a close relationship in your life. Because it's opposite. So whenever something is a transit or a planet is opposite from like one of your natal planet transits, if that makes sense, then you're going to, okay, that makes sense. So I have, let's just say, I'm not going to say exactly what I have, but I have some things in my 1st house. So that also makes sense. Oh, no. Yeah, actually, yeah. Wait, how am I going to be able to share my life without sharing what things I have going on in my, I'm trying to be like all mysterious and like not give away my full astrology chart, but like I'm trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to be able to explain certain things without you guys just knowing. So I just can't, I guess I'm not going to be a mysterious girly anymore. I'm just going to have to expose myself. Not really. Okay, I'm still not going to share my full astrology chart, but I will say, fine, do with this information as you please. But I do, let's just say Venus was not only, let's just say the moon was not only opposing my rising sign and my 1st house, it was also opposing my Venus sign. Okay? Do with that information as you please. If you're into astrology, then you should know what that means. Like if you know your astrology. But yeah, and then so that makes so much sense to me. So whenever Venus is opposing your or whenever anything is opposing your Venus sign, you are going to be, Venus represents love, relationships, all that stuff. So beauty, but we're talking about love here. So relationships, Venus rules relationships and love. So whenever something's opposite of it, that means you're going to be there's going to be some friction going on within like maybe your relationships or how you feel, as far as how you feel when it comes to like love and stuff like that. Yeah, so that just makes sense. Without going into super deep detail, the fact that the moon was opposing my Venus sign shows that there was going to be some major feelings, whether it was something really good or something, but the fact that it's opposite from my sign, obviously, because it'll be different if the moon was conjunct my Venus, then that means that's a very what would you call it, supportive trend. That's a very supportive I guess what would you call it, transit. But the fact that it's opposing means like my feelings are going to be opposed, or there's going to be some friction or opposing feelings about like my love and my relationships, which very much was. So and I could go deeper into that, but we're just going to keep it that level because yeah. We're just gonna keep it at level because we'll be here all day. Um, so yeah. Let's see. And also, I'm trying to think. I wanted to something else just popped in my mind, and Virgo is a very like could be critical. And I feel like another thing was like I was also being very critical of my relationship at the moment, or even being very critical about my partner. Now, I can't speak for my partner. I don't know if they're being critical of me, but probably. And the disagreement that we had to do with us disagreeing about something that we were being very critical on. So that's also very interesting as well. So that makes sense. Um yeah, so when the moon is in Virgo, yeah, you could be a little bit more critical. You can be very focused on work, or like working hard, and I guess like maybe would you even say like helping people, like wanting to be critical, wanting to help people by probably being like overly critical, but wanting to like how do you call it? Because Virgos also like their love language, or like how they like to help is like through like just like paying attention to details, and they're really good at that, but it also can come off as like being critical or trying to be perfectionist, or and them wanting to be perfect for themselves, then they may be like, so yeah. But it could also be like like very healing. You're also very good at communicating. Oh yeah, Virgo moons, you may want to communicate more, but communicate through like service to others, or like helping others, or being like maybe giving your advice to others about how they should be. But it could come off sometimes as being overly critical, or trying to either be hard on yourself because you want to be perfect, or other people perfect, or it has to do with like really being like focused on your work, being a workaholic. But it also could be like you tapping into your earthly parts of yourself, which is like, because Virgo's the earth sign, but Virgo is more earthly when it comes to like nurturing themselves through like herbs and food and healing and stuff like that in that way. So there's a bunch of whatever. Okay, let's move on. So then Mercury was going through my 10th house actually, which makes sense because also I mentioned in my journal how I really wanted to focus on my career. Like I was very big, like focusing on my dreams and building my career because I was restarting. Oh yeah, and I think Mercury had just stationed direct too because it was in retrograde. So I made a decision that I was literally like I finalized my decision of me starting over and just uh um yeah, starting a new channel. I think, yeah, at that point I was like, yes, I'm about to go all in. And yeah, so I feel like I was using my voice more also on that day because we didn't talk about it, but I think I film a video on the first. I was just kind of ready to kind of like start, I guess, posting on my new channel. So maybe that has to do with me like using my voice more within my career. Sagittarius also is my midheaven. So uh yeah, so like using my voice, communicating within my career, question mark. Oh, and Mercury, obviously Sagittarius is like philosophy, and it could also have to do with astrology. Can it? Or is that more ninth house? I don't know, but you guys get what I'm saying. Connecting with a global wide group of people on a philosophical levels, or whatever, relating to, yeah. Okay, moving on. Then we have, where was Venus? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is so crazy. Okay, so Venus was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to tell you guys my astrology chart. Or maybe I can share these things. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just share the things that I feel comfortable sharing with on my channel on here, but I'm gonna mute the things that I'm going to keep private unless you want to watch the unedited, the unmuted version on my Patreon. I think I'm going to offer like, because I don't mind sharing. Obviously, it's going to be my Patreon. You guys are helping me out living my dream life, you know, which is like making, you know, a living doing what I love. And that's talking about astrology and spirituality and showing how it could help, you know, everyone on their life, you know, help you guys in your everyday lives and, you know, build a community of girlies who are on the same journey and helping each other. So, yes, so that will be my treat. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So, anyways, so yeah, let me share. So, also, Venus was conjunct my Venus was in Sagittarius and it was conjunct my freaking. So I have my is in Sagittarius and it's in the house. So that is so wild because another fun fact is me and my boyfriend within our synastry. I looked up our synastry chart, and one of our synastry aspects, I guess you will say, is we have now, oh my gosh, this is really like, if you guys hear this is like one of the like controversial in either very a good way or really bad way. This is like one of the spiciest controversial synastry aspects you can have in a relationship. Take what you will with that information. If you want to know what that is and more on my take on it, then you can go to subscribe to my Patreon, which is only $5. And yeah, we can go into more deep dives and stuff. But yeah, me and my boyfriend, we have a aspect, synastry aspect. Yes, we do. So right there, also, that was, dang, I didn't even realize that at the time. So no wonder we were going through a transformational period in our relationships. And like we low key, we were literally, that was like one of our like, is this the end type of like moments in our relationship. And I think for me, on multiple reasons, and it just like, so yeah, it was a very transformative time in our relationship. Yo, that's so crazy. Because if I didn't even know about astrology, I would already just say like that was like a huge, there was a transition going on in our relationship for sure. So that makes so much sense. Also, my boyfriend has, let's just say without giving his full chart away, I feel like if I were to ask him, he would be like, I don't care, because he still doesn't even like, he listens to me talk about astrology, but he doesn't really like, but I wouldn't ever expose either of our astrology charts like on camera, because I think that's like personal, but I don't mind sharing things. And obviously you guys will piece together whatever. But yeah, let's just say he has some Sagittarius aspects in his chart. So that makes so much freaking sense, bro. That is effing crazy how on top that was. So with the moon, so sometimes when you get a transit, because not all people who are experiencing the moon opposite their if the moon is transiting your 7th sign, that may not always play out as strongly as it did for me. That doesn't mean, you may have a feeling around your relationships, but it may not be a life or death situation, as far as a life or death to the relationship, as far as like a potential ending to the relationship, because for us it was like that. It was very serious, and anyways, it was a very transformative time. But sometimes we have like multiple like transits going on at once. That's when the transits become major, if that makes sense. And I learned that from, well, I can't really, I've just learned that from different experiences in my life. I've realized like when there's like a lot of like squares, or there's a lot of opposites going on, sometimes you may experience like multiple planets opposing each other through a transit, and that can make the experience of you feeling those effects of the transits majorly, if that makes sense, as opposed to if you're just experiencing like one, I don't know if that makes sense, but in this case, there was a lot of things going on that surrounded relationships, and that's why this was like a major thing for us in our relationships. Man, that's so crazy. That is so freaking crazy. Oh, you know what? I guess I could share. Okay, fine. I'm sure, like, once again, I'm like, he doesn't care. So my boyfriend is a Sagittarius Venus. So this is like spot effing on. Like, astrology is so creepy. And it was literally sitting like conjunct my, and then I have the moon opposite my Venus. Like, that's like relationship. Like, yo, if stuff don't change, this is about to be goodbye, the death to your relationship. And I literally said that when we were talking, when we ended up having a talk, Sorry, I'm telling the story. But yeah, and we literally wrote out a list of like ways for our relationship not to die. What's gonna have to change for our relationship to not to die. So it was like, what the freak? How on point was that? Like, that's crazy. Okay, so moving on. And then we go to Mars. Mars was conjunct. Mars was transiting my 10th house, and it was conjunct my MC. So that's very interesting. Let's see. Is it? I don't know if it's squaring anything. Maybe it was. Yeah, actually, anything that's in Sagittarius is always going to be squaring my first house, which makes sense because Sagittarius is a square to Pisces, which is so sad because they're both like, they have similarities, but also differences that can make each other clash a lot of it sometimes. So yeah, Mars, my career was, I was also going through some frustrations and stuff like with my career. And I think, yeah, that is also very transformative or something, or like major, because Mars is about taking action. Okay, so therefore I was ready to take action, on my career, on my new career, take action with ending my old career, my old whatever, and starting to take action on my new career and taking action towards my new, on the career that resonated with me the most, and building a new career within my new social medias and blah, 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 blah route that I wanted to do. So that makes sense as well. It's so interesting when you look back and you see the connections. I was having a lot of squares and oppositions like I said, surrounding relationships and stuff. And also my Saturn, or it was squaring the transiting Saturn in Pisces, which was transiting my 12th house of loss and hidden things, hidden life. And it was that's so interesting. Man, so interesting. Okay. So let's see. I think I'm gonna stop there. I think that's good enough information. The only main thing I'll say is also that Pluto was literally on its last leg. Oh shoot, another thing. Okay, so Pluto was transiting my 11th house, has been transiting my 11th house for the past years. It's been in Capricorn has been in Pluto, or Pluto's been in Capricorn. And like I said, I don't know if I said this on camera, or I don't even know, but it totally transformed my friendships, my communities, online and offline. And it transformed my life in good and bad ways. Let's just say I left once Pluto and Capricorn left my 11th house. By the end of Pluto in Capricorn transiting through my 11th house, I had let go of so many things, so many friendships, all my friendships actually. So now I have no friends. I did not start that with no friends as well, but also for the best. It's not like a bad thing, like boo-hoo, I lost my friends. It was more so like, I realized like a lot of my friendships was based off of surface level connections, which wasn't sustainable. And I realized that I really want more deeper, genuine connections that align with my values and things that I'm interested in and everything like that. So yeah, and that's what happens. Like Pluto will destroy something that's not meant for you. And it sure did. It sure did. It would destroy the foundations, because it was in Capricorn, the foundations and the structures that you've built, which was my career. I built a freaking channel that I have been like, I haven't told you guys this, but I guess I might as well talk about it briefly since we're talking about it. Well, actually, I could wait. You know what? Yeah, I'll wait until like when we get to that part. Well, just to say, yeah, I had to leave a big business and a big establishment that I built and I worked on and I nurtured. It was my baby for like 8 years, and I had to let it go because it no longer resonated with me. The people that was a part of that group and community no longer resonated with me, because I ended up becoming a spiritual girly that I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for this life. This life chose me, literally. Okay. So, yeah, that's what happened. And, I developed into my astrology also. And so I don't know if you guys know this, but if you become more spiritually connected and you also love astrology, there's only a certain group of people that will get you. Like the world is starting to awaken and come to, together, which my theory is, I said this I've said this last year a lot. I was like, Saturn in Pisces is really wrapping up its last few years. I have a funny feeling that people are going to be really like awakening and becoming more spiritual. But also it's weird because I'm starting to see people becoming more spiritual, but in two ways. It's either we have these like groups where this rise of people who are becoming more spiritual and are into holistic health and wellness and stuff like that. But then we have this rise of people who are becoming more spiritually connected religiously, aka Christians. So we're having more people leaving maybe a certain life. We have a lot of also instances of people leaving like their spiritual journey, and they're becoming Christians. They're leaving like holistic and crystals and stuff. Like I've been seeing a lot of those stories. And also just people becoming Christians, which is great. I'm here for it all. I believe we should all do what resonates with each other, because another secret, they're all freaking the same effing thing, okay? In my opinion. And if you know, you know. I'm gonna say that's gonna be our thing. If you know, you know. Like people who are very awakened and in tune and think for themselves, as in don't listen to other people, he say, she say, and actually do the research and knowledge for themselves, and who are just tapped in, knows. But it's all the effing same thing. Spirituality is spirituality. You becoming connected is you becoming connected with source, with God, with the higher power, with the universe, whatever, is the same freaking thing. Newsflash. But a lot of people don't want to accept that. It's okay. Some people like to have names and different things. Whatever. I get it. It's fine. But it's crazy how this is becoming this like two separate groups. And when really people, they're saying the same. It's the same things. Like, interesting. So I'm just like, I'm just sitting around. I'm like, wow. First of all, it's so great. I mean, you even hear Beyonce talking about like there's people that has been tapped in even before me, who knew that Beyonce was on her, like she was already spiritually connected, but we're seeing it more. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be speaking more out about their like spirituality and coming out more with their connection, becoming a Christian or whatever. It's going to be more spoken out instead of like hidden in the dark, and it's, and all that stuff. So I'm just excited about that, because like I said, we do have Beyonce literally just made a video about like healing the world and connecting to your intuition, letting your intuition lead you. And we got freaking Ariana Grande freaking waving around the freaking, what is that? I forget what the tongue thing is, but a spiritual tool. And you see her, if you watch her stuff, she's into spirituality. She's very like, she has her crystals, and you can see that she's on her journey and stuff. And just different people. Like I was just listening to, I love a band called Paramore, and I was listening to Haley Williams. Like I just kind of randomly in the month of in the month in January, I got like, I've always loved Paramore, but I've kind of fell off. And so for some reason I was like really like, sometimes I get like downloads of different artists and certain random songs that I haven't even heard for a long time. And I believe this is also like a lot to digest. But like I also believe that it's connected somehow, because usually like when there's like something going on astrologically, like the sun is in a certain sign or the moon is in a certain sign, I would get like downloads of certain artists that I haven't listened to, or a certain song that I haven't listened to a long time. Come to find out, I've started making note like, oh shoot, I started like wanting to listen to people more, like random people, artists that are like aligned with what's going on astrologically. Like for instance, Haley Williams. I wasn't even listening to her music or into her like that for a long time until recently in January. I started to become obsessed with her to where I was listening to her interviews, and I never even used to listen to her interviews or anything like that. Come to find out, guess what her sign is? A Capricorn. And there's a lot of things. Obviously, we're in Capricorn season. There's a lot of Capricorn Mercury. Like, and I'm a Capricorn Mercury. And I kind of was a little creepy. I'm sorry if you ever watch these videos. I feel like as a famous person, I know I would feel some type of way if somebody just exposed my astrology chart out in public. I mean, if you care about astrology, but I feel like that's kind of a personal thing. So I'm sorry. I feel kind of like really kind of icky for even like looking at astrology, a celebrity's astrology charts. But like, I'm being real. I mean, I'm sorry. But yeah. But anyways, she's a Capricorn most of all. And yeah, it's just been interesting how I've been like really obsessed with her during Capricorn season. And also I have a lot of Capricorn things going on in my 11th house. And I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. Well, I have some major Capricorn things. So very interesting, very insightful. So yeah, what else was I saying? I don't know what I was saying, actually. I forgot. Yep. So another thing it looks like that I did this month was I got dressed. Oh, I filmed a video for my new channel today. That's what it looks like. There was a moon. I showed an image of the moon in Virgo. Oh, the Virgo moon. And then, I did my spiritual practice. Okay, good job, girly. And I did my first. Oh yeah, I did my first spiritual practice of the new year. And I did my first journal entry. Hold on. How am I going to do this? Which one should I turn off right now? I'm going to probably have to turn off you sign. I'm so sorry. Or should I? I need to charge my phone. I mean, not my phone. My laptop. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do to wrap up everything. So I started my astrology planner, obviously on January 1st, and they asked us in the beginning of every month. Like, it gives you all the transits of each day, and it's just amazing, honestly. So it starts off the month with January intentions, which are intentions that you want to do for the month. But it also tells you to pull 3 cards, okay? So it tells you to pull 3 cards from an oracle or tarot deck. Then you could draw the cards, or you could just write what they mean, what the cards are. And then it has like certain questions to answer and journal prompts, which is so cool. So another thing, the last thing I wanted to do to kind of wrap up everything was to kind of share share my intentions, my January intentions, and see what, and kind of see what, how to play it out. Well, should I do this or should I wait till the end? I'm trying to think, because okay, I guess I could do my January intentions. I don't know. I feel like this video is long enough. Maybe I'm gonna have to wait to do this because I'm starting to get hungry and thirsty. I haven't really eaten that much today. So yeah, actually, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to just skip. We'll do it in the next video, which is probably gonna be tomorrow. Because this was like a tester video, and yeah, I'm hungry. My boyfriend's waiting for me so we can go and blah 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 blah. So I'll end off with this. My last journal entry. My first journal entry of the year. Okay. So I said, it asked me, it says they have 2 journal prompts for you, or questions for you to answer every day. This question was, so what did I write? I'll just tell you guys what I wrote. I said, I woke up feeling grateful for entering the new year, disappointed with how New Year's Eve ended as far as me and my boyfriend getting to a disagreement. I said, I feel excited to get a fresh start, to get back on a healthy routine / workout. And I feel determined to start the year off with the energy I'm trying to bring in / attract. And then it asked me, how can I center my body's needs today? I said, I can do that by working out, having some type of movement, and being active. I said, I also can eat healthy foods consistently and staying hydrated. I said, I can spend time outside and rest. And look at here, Venus on day 1 of January 1st, with on top of everything that was going on in my chart astrologically, Venus is squaring. It shows the transits today, the major transits, and it says Venus squares Saturn and Mercury stations direct in Sagittarius. And then for Venus squaring Saturn, it says, if understanding feels blocked, consider what adjustments need to be made. Notice where your boundaries strengthen your intimacy and where they could use reinforcement, which was very on point. Very on point for me in my relationship. All right, that's going to be the end. I thought I was going to do it till the 3rd because today's the 3rd, but I'm tapped out. I've talked enough. I think I've provided a lot of, this is a good first episode. I'll catch up eventually. Maybe tomorrow I'll have more energy to we'll see how everything goes. I don't know. I'm trying something new. Give me feedback though. Do you like this format? This is this is the core. If I could find friends who really who just love this, who eat this up. Because if I saw somebody doing this on YouTube, I would be obsessed with their channel, because that's something I like to do. I really love self-improvement, bettering myself. I'm really on this trying to heal myself and work on myself and be the best version of myself and all the things. So, and I like to do that. Everybody does that through different things. You don't have to like astrology to do that. Astrology isn't necessary. It's just a helpful tool for people who resonates with it. Now, spirituality, I believe that is important for people, but everybody, as I mentioned, is going to have their own ways of connecting with themselves spiritually. Sometimes it's in a more freer sense, like spirituality. And then sometimes it's in more of a religious base, which there's no right or wrong. I believe everybody should just do what resonates with them. If that happens and everybody could connect to themselves spiritually or connect to spirit in whatever way that works, either way, I just hope that for the world, because I feel like everybody would just be, sometimes though, when it comes to religious, which is why I resonates more with spirituality, because I feel like religions have a very controlling aspect, and maybe there's certain religions over others, and I don't necessarily like that, because then whoever who's not doing that, living that way, then people start to point the finger, and then there's like, you're doing this wrong, and there's, well, that's where I don't like. And I do believe we're gonna go through a transition with that, this year. I mean, Pluto's in freaking Aquarius that's the most like free. I mean, as an Aquarius, it's like a F you to your rules and what you think. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Also, maybe that's more, my Aries moon is also like feeling that Aquarius is maybe not that like forthright, but they kind of do their own thing. Anyways, it makes changes in the world, but yeah, that's the video for today. Oh my gosh, that was really long. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot I was on freaking Twitch. Let's see where it's at right now. Last time I checked, I had 0. I totally forgot I was on this thing. Oh snap, there's like 3 people on here. Okay. All right, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow when I post a daily video again. And thank you forever who's watching on here too. I don't even know who you guys are, but yeah, this was fun.